What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Time. I am your host, Jacob Cutler, the Fantasy Guy, and today, you know what it is. If it's Friday, then you know what that means. It means it's another weekly edition of Meat on the 50, and as always, I am joined by one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan, and together we are going to break down the slate of games that we have on tap for you this weekend. What a weird game last night. Holy moly. I don't know if the Vikings are just that bad where they can't extend a lead, or if the Steelers are just that bad to where they have to really put the pedal to the metal to actually do something on offense. I think it's safe to say Ben done. Ben is clearly done in Pittsburgh. The Steelers need a full-on rebuild. Mike Tomlin, I'm sure, will follow close behind. Unfortunate, because they were saying last night that I don't think he's ever had a losing season in his NFL coaching career, which is freaking ridiculous. I mean, I hate the Steelers, but that is freaking ridiculous. So, Mike Tomlin, I definitely think they'll give him some more years just because of that, because he is a winning coach. But man, that game started out ugly. It got a little bit exciting there at the end where the Steelers had a chance to tie it, or at least have a 2-point conversion attempt to tie it up. But the Vikings were able to hang on. And Dalvin Cook, are you freaking kidding me, bro? What the hell? What the hell? Screwing over every single fantasy owner last night. I know you don't care, but we sure do. Thanks a lot, bro. How about you stay out the 2 weeks that you're supposed to stay out with your freaking shoulder? Holy crap. Holy crap. So if you are the ones who did not check the injury report before the game to put Dalvin in there, and honestly, I don't even think on the apps it had it up to date. I think you legit had to see Adam Scheffler's tweet saying that he was going to be active for him to be in the game. So thanks, Dalvin. Thanks a lot. If at any point you like what you see during this video, please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, and they drop every Wednesday and Friday, you're right there. You're right there to consume the content, because Brandon and I are always dropping the knowledge. It's right there at your feet. You just got to look down, pick it up, shove it in that head of yours, shake it around, and boom. Better fantasy player, better knowledgeable football human being, right? Because if you're not growing, you are dying. So please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and just tap on that bell notification to stay up to date on all the latest content. Best part about all of that, it is completely free. It is free to tap that like button, it is free to tap that subscribe button, and it is free to tap that bell notification. So just do it. You have nothing to lose. But without further ado, let's get into another weekly edition of Meat on the 50. Alrighty, here we are again, back for another week of Meat on the 50, and as always, joining me, one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing?
Rough week.
Yes.
Rough week this week. Always, when we lose to Seattle, it's always a tough one. That's the one game that you always hope that they're able to get, but I just have to sit back and I just got to wait. I mean, a little bit longer for the downfall of their team. I know they're kind of already falling apart, but I just feel like once Pete Carroll or Russ is out of there, one of the two, it's a whole different dynamic. I feel like that their little run comes to an end at that point. So
I could see it. Yeah, rough. Last week was rough. Last week was a rough one for sure, especially on how that game ended. 98-yard drive, could not punch it in. Definitely a dagger there for sure. I saw the ending and it was rough. It was rough. I seen it. But it's okay. We got a bounce back week, and boy, are we at odds this week. I can't wait to get into it, because we got. I'm coming for you, mister. I'm coming for you, and we're gonna talk about it. We are going to get into it, but first, like every week, you know what we like to do. Let's put the overall season totals on the screen. Boom, I like it. All right, for yourself, this season sitting at a nice 105, 74-1. 8-4 on the guaranteed victories. Remember, if you're just joining us, or if you need a quick recap, right? Brandon's been on this slide of guaranteed victories lately. Started 8-0, then going 0-4. He needed a bounce back. We're going to find out if he got it. And then for myself, going 108, 71-1, going 7-5 on my guaranteed victories, nipping at his heels right there, right? Just coming after him for the overall record and for that overall guaranteed victory record. it's been a competitive season. It has been a competitive season, and the comeback he's made overall for that record has been a nice one to see. Let's look at how we did last week, starting with you, of course. Put it on the screen. There it is, 8-6, and there we are. There we are, 1-0 on that guaranteed victory, getting yourself back into that winning column. It's got to feel good, right?
Oh yeah. Finally snapped that. So I feel like now we can build some momentum off of that. I just needed to get out of that rut.
Yep, there
right?
it is.
It's like in basketball, you just need to see the ball go through the hoop psychologically after you've been missing a bunch of shots. And then once you see that, kind of hoping you can turn things around at that point.
It was looking good. It was looking good. Definitely looking good. For the season, you are at, I'm liking it, 113, 79-1, improving to 9-4 on the guaranteed victories. Looking like a lot of these teams out here, right? With those 4 losses. I believe all first place teams have an 8-4 record. So you're right there with them. Obviously, you don't have a bye week. We don't get bye weeks here. But 9-4 on the guaranteed victories. Bouncing back, looking solid. Looking at my week. Boom, 9-5. Going 1-0 on my guaranteed victories. Also getting back in that winning category for the guaranteed victories. After the Eagles, the freaking Eagles, let me down. Let me down 2 weeks ago, but it was nice that the Chiefs bounced back and handled business against Denver. So we had a nice little bounce back week. Overall for the season, 117, 76-1, 8-5 on the guaranteed victory. So only sitting one game behind him for the guaranteed victory lead. It has been competitive all season long. But for all of you out there who can't do quick math for you, I just want to show you guys something. We have a combined winning percentage in our first season of doing this of a 674. We are on fire this season. Not too shabby at all. I am loving it. I am loving it. This week, we're not doing takeaways. I am actually bringing back the questions, and I only have one question for you this week. It is a two-parter, but the question is this, sir. We are going into week 14, and we're going to revisit this when it officially locks down. But I think we can both agree that this has been one of the weirdest NFL seasons that we have ever seen, and I think to date. So I want to know, with the shifting playoff picture, seemingly every single week, right? It seems that we have a new team as the 1 seed every single week. We seem to have teams in, out, right? All season long. I want to know, who at this current moment are you picking to go all the way, and what 2 teams do you see outlasting everyone at this current point?
So, the 2 teams I think that are going to go all the way and outlast everybody are going to be the Patriots and the Buccaneers. I don't know, there's just something in me that thinks that this matchup was in the works, with Belichick versus Brady. We already see that Mac Jones doesn't have to do much, but taking it back, 3 passes there. And they're able to get the victory, which goes to show that Mac Jones just needs to game manage. And if you look at his stats, he's been efficient. He's nothing special. I think Jimmy could do that. A lot of quarterbacks could do that, and they're all, a little bit above average. I'll say he's a little bit above average. I'm not saying he's anything special. So as long as you're able to, be efficient with the ball and, not turn it over, hand the ball off well, it goes to show that in that system with Belichick, you can go to the Super Bowl. And Brady has done it time and time again. So I think that, whether they're 1st seed or they're 7th seed, I think somehow they find a way to get to the Super Bowl. So I think that's going to be the marquee matchup. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this one.
I like it. Who wins it? Who wins Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick, the Patriots versus the Bucks, SoFi Stadium, Super Bowl 56, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Missy Elliott, Eminem, who's who of names performing at halftime. Who gets it done?
So when it comes down to this question, that you're asking me right now, I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. So you're asking me who is going to win, Tom Brady or Mac Jones? And 100 out of 100 times, I believe, in a Super Bowl when the game is on the line and a drive has to be made, Tom Brady's going to do that. So it's going to come down to the final possession. It's going to come down to the last quarter.
Okay.
Obviously Belichick knows how to scheme for Tom Brady, but he has won with Belichick, and he has also won without him. So my thing is I think that the Buccaneers are going to shut down your run game, and they're going to force Mac Jones to beat.
I like it.
And at the end of the day, I don't think that Mac Jones is going to do well with that pass rush. This one's easy for me. I think that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, if that is the matchup, win the Super Bowl.
I like that. Yep, definitely. 100%. Bruce Arians, if he doesn't scheme to just take out that running game and solely put the game in the hands of Mac Jones, he's definitely not game planning for the right game. I like it. If that is the case, if that somehow ends up being the case, that would be a very interesting Super Bowl to watch. Definitely. For myself, you're not going to like this one. Thinking about it, I was disgusted. Saying it, I know I'm going to be disgusted. But I have a feeling right now that it is going to be the Chiefs and the Rams who outlast every single team and end up making it to the final game. Now, I know the Rams are sliding. They won last week. But I think this team is one of those teams where if they can just get into the dance, if they can just get in, I think they go a long way. And it was kind of like the Bucs last year, right? All Tom had to do was just get into the playoffs. It doesn't matter what seed it is, just get into the playoffs and everything else will fix itself. I think that is what we may see happen here. I think the defense is going to come together, that offense is going to come together, and I think we're going to see more of a complete team come January, come the playoffs, division leader, wild card spot. I think the Rams are going to be one of those problem teams that you do not want to face. You do not want to face them in the playoffs. And if they're a wild card team, they're going to have to do it like Tom did, where they're going to have to go on the road every single week and win. The only home game they're going to have is just like the Bucs last year, would be the Super Bowl. So I think the Rams somehow get through, and I think the Chiefs somehow get through. Now riding that 6-game winning streak. Obviously, the Super Bowl hangover has wore off, right? They've taken all the Advil, all the Aleve, all the Tylenol, all the ibuprofen that they need. They seem to be over that hangover. They seem to have drunken that magic cure to fix the team because they are on fire right now. And looking at the AFC playoff picture, it's full of a bunch of question marks in my mind. The Titans are a question mark. The Ravens are a question mark. Steelers question mark. Bengals question mark. Chargers question mark. All these teams are question marks. I don't know who's going to be able to beat the Chiefs. Someone may be able to do it, but right now I got the Chiefs, Rams outlasting every team. And I think I did not pick a winner here. I am going to roll with, I don't want either of these teams to win. I am going to roll. Let's go with the Chiefs. Let's say Patrick gets it done against Sean McVay, handing him his second loss in the Super Bowl, 0-2 at home. Not going to be the second team in back-to-back years to win a Super Bowl at home. It happened last year for the first time ever. Don't think it's going to happen this year for the second time ever. So I got the Chiefs, unfortunately, winning this Super Bowl. Hopefully a team in the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we only got 4 more weeks of this season, comes and shines, and we'll see, because this season has been a weird one. I don't think anything is a lock. Right now. I think this thing is so open. Any team can rise to the top this season, which I think is the best part about this season, in my opinion. Alrighty. Like I like to say, we are done with last week. Done with it. Nice, quick, easy question. Done with it. Just like a newspaper, we're done with last week's news. We're flipping the page to this week's news. We are focusing on this week and this week alone. So, without further ado, let's get into it. We got starting us off for everybody else yesterday. For us in a in a little while here, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. What do you got for me?
Yeah, very surprised by the outcome of the game Minnesota played last week, and also very surprised of the outcome of the Steelers game. So, but I think in this juncture, I think when these two teams face each other, I think Minnesota gets a bounce back win here. I think that the misfortunes, I think it completely shifts here. I think that the Steelers leave with a misfortune, and the Vikings are fortunate to go ahead and save their season because, let's face it, they do need to get this win here. At 5-7, they need to, go 6-7. So I think that the Minnesota Vikings play desperate at home, and I think they are able to win this one in a close one. 31-20.
I like it. Yeah, I have to say I was pleased with the victory that the Steelers got last week just because of the Bengals messing it up at home and failure to do anything. But that's out the window this week. Not a chance in hell am I rooting for the lingers that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I hope Captain Kirk and the Vikes handle business and absolutely destroy this team at home, handing them a big loss to stop their freaking momentum from someone, for the love of everything good. Beat this team to get him out of the playoff picture, all right? Ben doesn't need any more seasons with this team. His time is done, all right? This team is mediocre at best. Stop letting them win. Unless you're in the AFC North, then let them win, but don't let them win so it affects their playoff spot to get in a better spot. I know that's confusing, but that's what you want if you're a division fan, all right? I got the Minnesota Vikings here handling business at home, 28-24. Close one, but like you said, gotta have this. Minnesota cannot take this loss here. They have to have this one. 28-24, Minnesota winning at home on Thursday. Moving on to Sunday morning, we got a division game. Basically, we got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this should be a pretty good game. I'm going to say that Baltimore bounces back here and they're able to get a win because they kind of, dropped a close one last week. So I have a feeling that, Lamar plays a little bit better this week and they're able to handle business on the road. They've always essentially gotten the best of Cleveland in those matchups. I know it's always close, so I'm going to say it's going to be a close game, but low scoring. I'm going to say Baltimore wins this one. 27-24.
To me, the Ravens have just plateaued these last few weeks, right? They're not getting any better. They're not getting really worse, but they're finding ways to win. Didn't work last week against the Steelers when they tried to go for two because it sounds like John did not trust his team against that Pittsburgh offense. I don't think it's going to work against the Browns either. I got the Browns finally being able to get over that hump and beating the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Browns are able to run the ball, and that's what they do best, and I think they're going to be able to do that at home. If this was on the road in Baltimore, I think it's a little bit of a different story because of that crowd. But I think Cleveland at home, it sounds like their running backs are healthy. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, it sounds like they are going to play. Baker Mayfield just has to not mess up the game. That's basically all he has to do. So I got Cleveland coming out with a victory here, 24-21. Tough game, and I just need the Ravens to lose. I need the Ravens to lose, and lose. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I got Tennessee winning this one. Jacksonville has just struggled the whole year. And it's, new coaching staff, new players, new faces, new quarterback. They're doing just about as well as they can, I guess, in this scenario. I think that there was a couple of games that, it didn't seem as though there was no effort there, but all in all, I think that they continue to struggle for the rest of the season. And I think that Tennessee is able to get a pretty easy victory on this one. I'm going to say Tennessee wins this one 31-17.
You know, the only thing I have to say on this game is the report I saw earlier today, which was that Derrick Henry's timeline for his injury looks to be accelerated. It looks to be on the early side of his return. So that's good news if you're a Titans fan right there, and that's the news that you want to hear if you're a Titans fan. With the game, pretty simple. I got the Titans winning an ugly game, a low-scoring game. I'm going Tennessee Titans 17-10, getting a victory against the Jaguars. Next up, we got another division game. And I don't even know, I don't know what this team is. We got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Arrowhead, Kansas City to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you got for me?
Does seem as though Kansas City's played a lot of games at home in a row consecutively. Like I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that, but it does seem though that they have
3 in a row. I believe.
They're always playing games there. I just hope that they don't get the number 1 seed. I don't care who it is. I just hope they don't get the number 1 seed because I want to see them have to go on the road in the playoffs because generally they don't have to. So I think Kansas City wins this game here. I think that Las Vegas dropping, to the Washington football team at home, that was a rough one. So I'm going to pick Kansas City to win this one 31-24. I'm going to say that the Raiders compete with them because they're a division rival, but Kansas City's able to take care of it.
Yeah, after an ugly loss to Washington last week, this Raiders team is weird. They're just like the Chargers. So they ride this wave of we're good, we're bad. We're good, we're bad. We're good, we're bad. And they just ride this wave of inconsistency all year long. You know what inconsistency gets you? Not a damn thing. Inconsistency in this league gets you nothing but a high draft pick and wasted time. So, Chiefs make it 7 straight with this season sweep of the Raiders. Pretty simple. Kansas City Chiefs 35-17 for a much inconsistent Raider team. Don't like it. Next game up, we got the New Orleans Saints traveling to MetLife to take on the New York Jets. What do you got for me?
Yeah, just not impressed by what I've seen out of the Jets all year, but that's neither here nor there because obviously going into the season, I didn't think the Jets were going to do much of anything, so I'm not surprised at all. I do think New Orleans gets a win here. Like you said about the last game, I think this one's actually going to be a little bit ugly just because the New Orleans quarterbacking situation. The New York Jets, it's just they're consistently inconsistent. So that's what I've seen. So out of them. So I'm going to say New Orleans wins this one in a low-scoring game, 20-17 against the New York Jets at MetLife.
Okay, you're going low-scoring. I'm going on the high-scoring end just because that's what the Jets do. They score garbage time touchdowns. I don't have much to say on this game. I expect the Saints to go in there and handle business. I got the New Orleans Saints 32-24 and a relatively... Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington football team. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I'm not sure how you're feeling about this one. This one might come to as a surprise to you, actually. But I am going to pick the Washington football team here. They've been impressing me a little bit. In 2 back-to-back 17-15 wins. I mean, that is unheard of. The score, right? 17-15 in back-to-back wins. But these close games that they have been resilient, and it just seems as though they've been able to get it done. I mean, against the Raiders, I didn't catch any of that game because my game was on at the same time, but I did see some of the highlights in the later window and Sunday Night Football, and they were able to drive down the field and kick a field goal to take the lead. So they've been pretty good in the back half of the season. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them here in a close one, 23-17. I think they beat Dallas.
To me, even though the Cowboys won last week, the Cowboys do not look like the team that we've been talking about all season long. They haven't looked like that team for a number of weeks now. Massive question marks in the running game, right? We got Pollard out-touching, out-carrying Zeke again for another game. So is Zeke's time in Dallas done? Potentially. Dak not looking as sharp as he did at the beginning of the season. The Cowboys defense being really the only staple of that team to really help them out and get these victories in these ugly games that they've played so far. Luckily they have Travion Diggs, who's gone banana crazy with these interceptions this season. But then you have it on the other side of the table, right? You have Washington, who hasn't made it look pretty by nobody's standards. They've won some of the ugliest games you'll ever see, but they're winning, and they've been able to rattle off 4 consecutive wins to get themselves right back into the conversation for playoffs, right back into the conversation for that division, and for a 3rd consecutive week. It's not surprising to me, son. I'm going Washington football team 17-15, baby. Let's make it 3 weeks in a row. Let's go. Next game up, we got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, on this one, 2 teams that are kind of in the same mediocre boat to me. I'm going to pick Atlanta here. I just think that in the last few weeks they've showed some progression a little bit, but they're another team that's consistently inconsistent. I don't expect much out of either of these teams just going down the stretch at all. I think that they're, just like I said, very mediocre, very average. And so, I'm just going to pick Atlanta. This one's just it's a toss-up, so I just have to pick one here. I'm going to pick Atlanta beating Carolina on the road 28-20.
I like it. In the second game of the series, I am going to go with the Panthers on this one. I made the mistake of going with the Falcons last time. Panthers handled business. I'm not making that mistake again. I think Cam, but most importantly, I think that Panther defense, just like in the first game, comes through and gets that victory. In a relatively competitive game, it would be nice for it to be going back and forth, but I have the Panthers sweeping the season series against the Falcons, 24-17, touchdown game, close game, but I got the Panthers pulling it out. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks taking on my favorite team in the NFL, the Houston Dumpster Fire Texans. What do you got for me?
I just hate to do it. I got to pick Seattle here, but I mean, what choice do you give me? I mean, they're both not good teams, but it's just Houston doesn't play well. I hope Houston wins this game. I'm trying to go off of logic and more than anything. I don't want to go off emotions. I really do hope that Houston wins this game. And do I think Houston has a chance winning this game? Yes, I do think that they have a chance because the Seahawks, they lost Jamal Adams, who was actually playing pretty well the last couple of games, and they're in a bit of trouble. I know they did beat the Niners, but I feel as though the Niners kind of beat themselves on that. So just with turnovers and penalties and things of this nature and what's new. I'm going to go ahead and pick Seattle. I think Seattle wins this one 24-20.
Yeah, after a tough victory they got, against the 49ers last week, just were able to hang on by their teeth, basically. I think they get off relatively easy here, but with taking on the Texans. Yes, I'm with you. It'd be great if the Texans somehow just light it up at home and absolutely destroy this team. But I'm with you. I got the Seattle Seahawks 31-14. I think the offense is going to look relatively normal with Russ, DK, Tyler, and them getting their touches and stuff like that. And I think the Seahawks here got off relatively easy this week with a victory that they should have. It's not a guarantee, but they should win this game. So I got the Seattle Seahawks 31-14. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions traveling to the mile-high city of Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. What do you got for me?
Yeah, very happy for Detroit that they're finally able to get a win. I mean, it doesn't matter the fan base, unless you're the Seattle Seahawks. I hope you go in 17 every year, but I honestly don't care. But in any other team, all other 31 teams, I do hope you guys get a win. You never want to see a team go winless. Like I said, unless you're Seattle. I had to go back to that. Yeah, I hope they lose. Like I said, I hope they lose every single game. In my life, it doesn't matter who plays against them. Raiders, Chiefs, you name the team. I hope that they lose. And if the Seattle Seahawks played the Lakers, I would hope the Seattle Seahawks would lose. If somehow that was possible. And I hate the Lakers with everything in my body. Every fiber in my body. But if they were able to play each other somehow, I hope the Seahawks lose. So that's how I feel about that. But getting back to Detroit, I hope that they win. I hope that they do win this game. But to be in, like I said, my logical side, you're in Mile High. I think that you did get your win, so that you kind of got that pride, you got that joy. I have a feeling that the passion's still there, but you kind of got that relief, right? From getting that win. So I don't know if that energy is going to be there after you got that win. You know, a lot of times we find success in life and we kind of just relax, and that's how it should be. But not in football. You're having to go on the road. You're having to play Denver. That's a really tough one. Denver's coming off of a pretty rough loss. I expect Denver to bounce back here. I think Denver wins this one 31-24.
Okay. You know, after a dramatic victory last week, coming down to the final play of the game, scoring that touchdown, lighting that city, that field, that entire franchise fan base on fire. I hope, and I think the Lions can do it again, right? The Lions have been competitive in every one of their games, essentially, almost, I think, throughout the entire season. Denver's not very good, and with all the emotions and confidence that they got from last week, you're right. They could just rest and be like, you know what, we got the win. Okay, let's shut it down. I don't think so. I think this team is different. I think this team wants to get another victory, so I have the Detroit Lions unexpectedly going back-to-back, getting their second victory on the year, 24-21, and another close game on the road. They did it at home, now do it on the road. Just keep going there in Detroit. Moving on to the afternoon games. First up for our afternoon, we got the New York Giants traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this one, I mean, the Chargers, I'm so sorry that you had to witness that, but they played very well against your Cincinnati Bengals, and to beat the Bengals, that's impressive because the Bengals are, in my opinion, one of the top teams in the AFC. So Herbert's playing really well, and for him to be able to go home and not have to play on the East Coast in the early window, that's big. New York's kind of turned things around a little bit, but not enough to where I'm convinced that they're going to beat Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers here. I do think the Chargers dominate the Giants. I do think that they beat them 35-17.
Yeah, in the injury report, game of the year, right? Giants will likely be without their starting quarterback, will likely be without one or two of their starting wide receivers. And then you look at the other team, the entire Chargers starting receiving core has COVID. Oh, when did they get COVID, NFL? Did they just magically get it all on Monday? No, they probably played with it, you buttholes. Screwing over my team. Do better testing. What kind of shit is that? Oh my goodness. All of the Chargers starting receivers on the COVID-19 reserve list, so they're out. I don't even know who's going to play for this team. They might even call me up and sign me up off the street. They might go and say, hey, you over there, you want to play? Throw on a Charger jersey. I mean, I don't know what we're going to see in this game. I fully expect, though, Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler to pull it off, pull it together, pull out a victory against a Giants team who, they started to look good, and now they're running into these injuries. It's not looking good for them. So, just like I expect the Chargers to win, but just like I said on my Wednesday video, this is the Chargers down week, so it would not surprise me at all if they totally just went home and flopped against the New York Giants. Would not surprise me at all. However, I'm not picking that. We're going Los Angeles Chargers, 24-17. Close game. Close game. We got, next up, these last two games, folks. These last two games of the afternoon are some absolute bangers. I hope you guys are ready for them. Next up, we got the Battle of the Friends. we got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Cincinnati, to the jungle, to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this will be a good back and forth game for our two teams. We've been waiting all year for this one. I know that when this came out, we were talking about it. It was that extra game. If they voted to have 17 games, this was going to be the extra game that the Niners and the Bengals had to play. I think that the Bengals are fortunate that they get this one at home. I think that's, that definitely helps any team, especially so, and not having to travel all the way to the West Coast. So, I'm just going to roll with my team here. I'm not extremely confident. I think that we really shot ourselves in the foot against the Seahawks, and I think psychologically that really hurt us. So this one could go either way. I'm just going to go with my gut. I'm just going to say the 49ers win this one 27 to 24. I think it comes down to the end. I think that there's a lot of running involved in this game on both sides. I think Mixon gets involved, and then I think Mitchell's running the ball a lot. I think that this should be a really good game. I was hoping that maybe this one would be the Sunday night game because I think it has the potential to be a really competitive, hard-fought game. But kind of cool that they moved it up to the afternoon window, so it's something that we can kind of focus in on because there's a lot of games in the early window. So I think this will be a really fun one to watch, and I know that we'll be going back and forth on this one. Yeah,
and an absolute must win for both teams. This, I think, is going to be an extremely competitive game. Both teams looking to bounce back after taking both tough losses last week, right? I'm excited to see how the defense plays in this game. To me, both offense are pretty much evenly matched across the board, right? You have some where the Niners are a little bit better in one area, where the Bengals are a little bit better in another area, but overall, if you just spread it all out, it's pretty even. And then you add in Debo to that Niners offense, I think it's even more even across the board offensively. So, I think what I want to see is I want to see how the defense plays. I want to see how these defenses come to play in this game. And I don't think they're going to do that good of a job because I got the Bengals winning 35-24. But I think this game alone solely relies on the defense because of how even these offenses can be at times. So I'm going Cincinnati Bengals 35-24 and an absolute thriller of an afternoon game. Cannot wait to see it. And then in our next absolute thriller of an afternoon game, we got the Buffalo Bills traveling down to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you got for me?
So if the last game wasn't the night game, this definitely should have been. This was a really good game. Didn't really like what I saw out of Buffalo last week. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around what I saw on Monday night, and I don't know. It just seems like they've kind of lost their confidence, and there's something missing there. So I think Tampa Bay and Tom Brady always plays well at home and plays well in Tampa Bay. I mean, heck, they won a Super Bowl 31-9 there. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Tampa Bay in this one. I think it is a close one, but at the end of the day, I think Tampa Bay wins this one 35-27.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah, we got some bangers for the afternoon. I love it. To end off our week before Sunday night, before the primetime games, I love these two matchups. And this is kind of like the game above, right? But instead of two teams needing must-win games, this is one team having to have this victory. If there's any other victory on the schedule that the Buffalo Bills need, it is this game to give them the confidence that they need to prove that they are, in fact, an actual playoff contending team. That what we were seeing at the beginning of the season was not fake, was not a mirage, was not an illusion, right? So the Bills need a bounce back here. However, and there's always a however, their biggest miss is a running game. I mean, let's break down last week's game. What's worse? Someone a quarterback who throws 3 passes and completes 2, or losing to a quarterback who only completes 3 passes or attempts 3 passes. I think it's the latter. Okay, I don't think it's really on Mac, who completed 2 passes last week. I think it's more embarrassing for that Bills team that allowed a quarterback to attempt 3 passes, complete 2, and still win the game. What is this, like 1902? Is this the first iteration of football? I mean, what is going on here? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? You should be embarrassed. The Bills defense should be embarrassed, right? Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, you should be embarrassed for that performance you put on last week. You let a man throw 3 passes. In 2021, you let a man throw 3 passes and win an NFL game. You need a running game. You need a running game. You haven't had one since you left Marshawn leave. You have not had a running game since Marshawn Lynch has left your team. Wake up, smell the coffee, find a freaking running back, and you guys, I promise you, I can guarantee it, you will have more success than what you're having right now. Guarantee it. Bucs being the more complete team, Bucs handle business at home, ending the Bills season. You did it to yourself, Buffalo. What should I expect? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 35-32. Close game, ending the Bills season. Moving on to our night game. We got the Chicago Bears traveling to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. Division game. Kind of a snoozer. What do you got for me?
I got a guaranteed victory for you. I think that the Green Bay Packers come out and they dominate and they win this one 35-14. And I don't have much else to say.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. We got a double guaranteed victory here. Of course I'm saving my guaranteed victory for this game. Come on. Just like Aaron Rodgers says, he owns you. He owns you, Chicago. That is Aaronsville, USA. Chicago is, okay? The Windy City is actually Rogers City, basically. So Aaron, fully expect to handle business. What was that score you gave?
35-14.
I thought we were close. I'm going 42-10. Green Bay Packers, guaranteed victory, handling the Bears. A much-needed loss to hopefully get Matt Nagy out of town. Fire Matt Nagy. I mean, if I could get a chant going, if I had a button I could press that just had a bunch of people erupt into saying, fire Matt Nagy, I would. He needs to be gone. Next up, Monday night, we got a thriller. We got one I'm looking forward to. We got a division battle. We got a massive game in terms of playoffs, rankings, divisions. We got a big game here. We got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. What do you got for me?
Yeah, this is going to be a heck of a game, and I'm excited to tune into this one. I do think that both teams are... I feel like they're both in need of this win to try to, because Arizona, you don't want to start slipping now with the division and trying to hold on to the number 1 seed. So the pressure's there, and then the Rams, you don't want to drop another one because, before you know it, you might be out of the wild card hunt if you keep dropping losses. So, but I do think Arizona playing at home, I was at that stadium. I think that it does get electric. The Arizona Cardinals fans are very loud. I know that Niner fans were maybe 30 or 40% of the fans there, but the Cardinals fans were very loud. So it's an electric environment. It's so fun to be there. It's so fun to watch a game there. I can't wait to go back. I do think just this game being in Arizona, I think that that's a big factor, and I think that they're able to get a win here. I do think that they beat the Rams in a close one, 31-20.
Ooh, I like it. In a game that could really go either way. This game could really, I'm looking at it, it could really just go either way. I don't think anybody really has the edge here in this particular game, and I'm going to rock with the Rams on this one. I think, Cardinals got them the first time when they were on the road. I think the Rams get the Cardinals for the second time on the road in a great game. I do not have it as a defensive game. I'm going Rams 35-34. I think we're going to see an offensive barrage back and forth till the end of the game. And I think the Rams this time are able to clutch it out, get the victory, splitting that season series, further putting pressure on the Cardinals to perform for the end of the season. We only got 4 weeks. Can you believe it? We made it. 4 weeks. We only got 4 more weeks, baby. We are here. We are at the tail end of the season. Every single game from now on actually means more than it meant before. These last 4 games are so crucial. Teams got to win. You want a playoff spot, you got to earn it. It's not going to be handed to you. You got to go out and get these victories. I'm excited to see it, and because that is going to do it for this week's edition of Meat on the 50. As always, Brandon and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch our video, investing your time, and to listening to what we have to say. You know, if you are new here, Brandon and I want to welcome you to the channel, welcome you to the videos. We hope you have enjoyed this episode, and we hope to see you again. Brandon, you know what I like to ask you. Any last words for the people?
Good luck to you and your team on Sunday. I think it'll be a heck of a game. I'm excited to watch my team play your team because, you know, I know that we are both trying to fight for a playoff spot or you know, and it's a big deal to both of us. So this will be a big game. So best of luck to you, and I hope that everybody leaves with no injuries, right? And I hope that I just hope that, you know, whoever wins, I just hope. I like it.
Yes. You know, good luck to the Niners. Good luck to the Bengals. I am excited to see it. We of course are going to be talking throughout this game. So we'll definitely have some back and forth for next Friday for you guys. But like always, I want to thank you for your thoughts, analysis, predictions, expectations, all of that good stuff, and obviously your time as well. Like always, we can give you all of our thoughts, all of our analysis, all of our predictions, expectations, all of that. We can tell you everything that we're thinking. But at the end of the day, it is on these guys to lace it up, suit it up, take the field, and get the job done. If it were on us, I don't know if we could do it. I don't know if we have the health, the shape, or the craziness in our bodies to do it. So, but nevertheless, it is on these guys. All right, we can talk about it all we want. We know about it, but these guys have to actually go and do it. If you guys like what you guys are seeing at any point during the video, please smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new episodes drop, and they drop every Wednesday and Friday, you're right there. You're right there to consume the knowledge because it is right there at your feet. All you got to do is look down, pick it up, shove it in the head of your shake it around, and boom. Better fantasy player, better knowledgeable football human being, right? I promise you that. If there's one thing Brandon and I can deliver for you, it is making you a more knowledgeable football human being, thinking about stuff that you may have never thought about before. Whoo! Because remember, if you're not growing, you are dying. So smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and just tap on that bell notification to stay up to date on all the latest content. If you want more fantasy time, if you just were like, how can I get more of these two guys? How can I do it? We got ways for you. Follow us on Twitter at FantasyTime2021. Follow us on Facebook at The Fantasy Guy 2021. Follow us on YouTube at FantasyTime 2021. The links for our Meat on the 50 Google Sheet will be down in the description. Click on it, download it, ingest it, digest it, do everything you need to do so that you know who we are picking, what our expectations are, and then do us a favor. Comment down in the bottom and let us know what your expectations are. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Start a conversation. Let us know what you are thinking. Let us know who you are picking this week. Let us know who you are rocking with the rest of the season. We want to hear from you as well. We've heard enough of our voices this season. We want to hear from your voice. That is going to do it for this episode of Fantasy Time. As always, that is one of my best friends. I think he's over here, whichever. Brandon Sullivan, one of my best friends. My partner in this journey. And I am Jacob Cutler, the Fantasy Guy. And we shall see you next week.